Hello and welcome to Talking Baseball, a signature ep. It is Power is Power, the official power rankings of the first third of the season. Let's talk ball. Yohan Duran.
Josh Hamilton.
Power is power. He gets it. Hello and welcome to Talking Baseball, presented by Fanatics Markets, where fans trade on sports. Fanatics Markets available now on the app stores. I am Jake Storielli. That is Trevor Plouffe. Rob Scirocco's producing. Dalton Feely in the sheet as we are going through the most powerful teams of this season. We talk a lot of ball, Trev. I was thinking about this today because off camera, we've talked about power rankings a lot because the episode does well, to be frank. And it's, how much can we do it without being weird about it? And, I think we've kind of landed on let's do one before the season, 3 during the season. We'll see how it goes. And then I was kind of laughing because we submitted our power rankings yesterday. And after one night of games, I would have made changes that maybe we could do power rankings every hour, or we're still a little early in this season. But Coach, with all of that, Knicks in 6, how are you?
Knicks in 6. Okay, I'm actually looking at Josh Hamilton's baseball reference page. I was expecting more.
Well, there's a whole story there that I don't think we have to do today. Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah.
But he had 2010 was a great year for him. 8.7 WAR, 1 dotted it throughout the season, 32 and 100. Love that. Power rankings are interesting because there's no clear definition of power to me.
Right.
Sometimes I look at my rankings and I'm like, am I projecting the future,
right,
or are we doing what's happening at this very instance? And I try to toe the line a little bit there. So some teams I'll have because I'm like, they're inevitably going to be there. And then some teams I'll reward because they've gotten off to a nice start. So I want to hey, here's your flowers a little bit. So at least that's how I approach it. If that makes any sense, I don't know. But I know that you and I both submitted it, and our fantastic researcher, Dalton Feely, came back and said, you guys have pretty similar rankings.
We did all right.
We are ball knowers.
Yeah, and I know you compared it. You always question AI, the computers, and I know you ran some simulations over there. And I guess there's there's 2 teams that we're pretty split on. The rest of these conversations are really why them over them, especially towards the top of the list. So we'll do some of that. The bottom of the list, shockingly, same bottom 3, which the bottom 2, I think everyone might assume. Shout out to Angels and Rockies fans if you've been watching baseball this season. I don't know. The tarps off thing is spreading, so maybe go to your beautiful stadiums and get involved in that. But
the dinosaur should never have hit on Mrs. Met.
Oh,
right, yeah, it's bad juju.
That is bad juju. You know?
Yeah, what's his name? Is it Dinger?
Dinger, yeah.
Dinger,
nice.
What are we doing, bro?
Look at that. And
we love.
We'll do a mascot draft at some point. But right now, let's do the power rankings of May 20th, 2026. All right, let's get into it, Coach. At the top of the leaderboard, I think there was 2, I guess there was 3 teams eligible for kind of the top 3 positions, I think.
Interesting, okay.
As we
You've got my attention.
Okay, as we talk about power being power, I think there's a team going for a 3-peat that hasn't gotten off to a bad start, that they have an argument for the throne. And then I think there's been 2 dominant teams, one in the NL, one in the AL.
Okay.
The Braves and the Rays. I think the Rays come in a little lower, if we're being honest. But I guess walk me through your thought process.
So that's curious. Even I didn't think about the Rays right there, as you said, the top 2 teams. I did have the Dodgers and the Braves as my top 2 teams, but you definitely can make a case, and there really shouldn't be a reason that they are not in the conversation other than like maybe some of the names aren't his household. Essentially, right? Is that truly what it is? I'll start with the Braves.
Okay.
Braves are a complete team. From starting pitching depth, which we thought was going to be the issue coming into the season. We dealt with some injuries. We just thought The stink is still on them. They're still dealing with that. What the heck is going on? Turns out maybe not as bad as we thought. Some guys have stepped up in that rotation. We've had bounce back years from a guy like a Michael Harris. Drake Baldwin, although on the IL now, looks like he's one of, if not the best hitting catcher in baseball, which is a cheat code, my people. They've done all of this. Matt Olson's still doing Matt Olson things. They've done all this with really potent Ronald Acuna Jr. They just have a little bit of everything. Lineup depth, rotational depth, back end of the bullpen, everything is going the Braves' way. So, I believe, Jake, best record in baseball still, yes. Yeah. I think the Rays actually percentage-wise have it because Atlanta 33-16, Tampa Bay 32-15. So they'd have it percentage-wise. Braves have done everything right. I think did you have them one?
So for me, it came down to, I gave the Rays some snaps. As you mentioned, record-wise, they're there. I think, one, they get hurt by the American League just not being a classy league right now.
Okay.
And with the Rays, yes, you could say the names, but it's not. We're deep in the baseball world. We talk about it every day. The Rays, they don't have a lot of power sticks. I want to say they're 26 in home runs, so that's different than just names. Like that's something you want to watch throughout the year. And yeah, I think some of their depth pieces, where when you look at the Braves and Dodgers on paper, offensively, pitching, defensively, they grade out well at every single thing. That for me, I went Dodgers with the one spot. They still are who they are. Like, nothing they've done in this point of the baseball season has made me even tilt my head and think about them differently. Like, I think they are still the team that needs to be knocked off at one point. Obviously, we know the whole story of, hey, with their pitching staff, who's actually going to be there at the end of the year as we're doing Snell and Glass now again. I still think they are who they are. And last year, their bullpen has graded out pretty well this year, and that's with losing Edwin Diaz, which, again, will he be there for the home stretch? But remember how bad that was for them last year and how it felt? So I don't know. I still think they are who they are, and I had the Braves number 2 just because they are the team of this season. No offense to the Rays, who, again, are neck and neck for a lot of different reasons. But, dude, Atlanta, the injury bug has been there. Their starting catcher right now is Sandy Leone, who I didn't know he was still strapping him up. I feel like did he ever cross paths with some of those old Twins teams that you were on? Like Sandy?
Not my team, but possibly like an 18 to 19 catcher.
Let's see, Sandy Leone. They've had pitching injuries. They've had Ronald Acuna injuries. He's just come back. That they still have. It feels like they have more peaks to their power. Oh, Sandy Leone called up in 2012. Let's go.
2012 what?
2012 Nationals for 3 years, cups of coffee. And then he was Boston 2015 through 2019. So you guys definitely a couple swordsmen out there.
Oh, we definitely crossed paths. I don't think he was with the Twins ever.
No.
Okay.
But a little 2022, which I think you had moved to another career at that point.
He was on the team in 2022.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought. I remember seeing him there. I'm just looking one thing up real quick. I'm looking at Michael Harris deuce. I saw him get a couple knocks plus a homer off a lefty last night. It's up. Okay. I thought it'd be up more than that.
Okay.
His splits, hitting right-handers better this year, 863 OPS to 709. Versus left-handers. It's up a tick. He was in the 640s last year against left-handers. But I think having the Dodgers second is my way of being edgy. If we're being honest, that's my shock factor with the Dodgers. There's not
a ton. I think, again, this part of the list, I don't want to say predictable, but I think a lot of people I think the debate is between those two right now. Today's episode is sponsored by Joy Mode. 162-game season rewards the guys who show up every single day, not just the ones who go on 2-week heaters then disappear. Joy Mode works the same way. ED is a blood flow thing, and when that starts to slip, whether it's age, stress, or whatever, you feel it. Joy Mode supports nitric oxide, the molecule that opens up blood vessels and keeps everything running the way it should. Science-backed ingredients, 4 of them, clinical doses, nothing hidden. Take it before and feel a little difference at night, or use it daily to build up your baseline so you stop having good nights and bad nights. You just have good nights. 1 packet mixed with water, no pills, prescriptions, or planning. So if you want better blood flow and no ED issues, better heart health, Joy Mode has a deal for our listeners. Go to tryjoymode.com/talkin' or enter talkin' at checkout for 20% off. You had the Rays at 3. I did put them at 5, but that's because to be honest with the people, I'm NL Stan Jake right now. I think we're talking about power. Iron sharpens iron. And right now in the American League, we're not sharpening iron. My Yankees, depending what the Athletics did last night, the Yankees don't have a win against a team over 500. So,
I thought you guys were off of that because if one team wins something, everything changes.
So, yeah,
really
it's
quickly.
not a great step. Well, that's the point. The Athletics were the team that the Yankees have one win over, and they dropped under 500 against the Halos that last night, or before last night's game, the Yankees are technically 0-6 against teams over 500. So, the American League, iron is not sharpening iron right now. That the Rays are my highest AL team. I have them at 5. You put them at 3.
I'm just a big fan of what they've been able to do, and I think what they've done so far is sustainable. So yes. I'm projecting them to continue to be here, and this is also a little pat on the butt. Hey, you're doing a good job. Here you go. Here's your time in the sun.
Oh.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I'm rewarding them for drastically moving up my rankings. What did I have them going in?
So they are the biggest well, of the high up teams, they're close to a tie with the biggest risers on this list. The Rays are up 10 spots for me, 12 spots for me. The other team, where are the White Sox going to be in these rankings? That's what everyone's asking right now. They've been one of the biggest risers this year. The Rays are the biggest one for you, 18 spots.
Yeah, so here's the thing. They have thrown the ball incredibly, which I guess, maybe they got away from that in years past, and not having Shane McClanahan is part of that. But the guys they brought in, Nick Martinez has been great. Drew Rasmussen's been great. They're able to run prevent with the best of them. Sometimes that defense can be a little shaky.
Yeah.
But when you have pitching the way they have pitching, it doesn't really matter. And then I think offensively is where I'm kind of going with, where I think it's sustainable, because you talked about lack of home runs. I only need my guys that are supposed to hit home runs to hit home runs. That's how I think.
I like that.
It. And they are Yandy, Aranda, and Caminero. They're hitting homers enough to sustain that, because you're talking about a team that takes extra bases, that can steal bags, and they have a pesky kind of bottom of that lineup where I feel like good teams just get different contributions, whether that's a guy carrying an offense from time to time, or just guys coming up in big situations and getting those knocks. The Rays have done that, and I feel like they have the hitters to continue to do that. You always talk about Chandler Simpson and the speed factor, and he's just different. To me, that can be a difference maker in a season. Watching him get on first base and watching him just come all the way around the bases for no reason other than the fact that he is just faster than the game knows what to do with, that can separate an offense. It can win you baseball games. Imagine Chandler Simpson being the Manfred runner is just not fair. It's not fair. I'm in. They're 10-11 in interleague. How about that?
Nice.
So they have played decently against the National League.
Yeah, they're killing.
Is that crazy? League. Wait, they're 10-11. That's 20 games.
In a way. Yes. Well, yeah, dude. That's the new kind of scheduling. They almost try to get them out of the way, which part of me likes. It's kind of like, hey, if we're gonna play everyone, let's do those games early so you have more divisional games late. But I do know what you're saying. And no, last night's game against Baltimore is a good example. When it's Yandy Diaz, he has an argument for maybe most underrated guy in the game. I don't know if it's a Tampa thing. He also had that half of a season when Yandy's stock was up that he was bad. But then, dude, he is with the Tampa Bay Rays. He has been an amazing baseball player, and now that contact swing has gone a little more powerful. I was doing this yesterday with John because we were just scouting the AL East a little bit. I think since 2022, he's one of 4 guys with a 300 batting average. He's got, with the Rays and OPS in the 8s, he's just a baller, dude. That I've had this NBA Jam concept of baseball power rankings that I've wanted to do, whether that's here or Wake and Jake. It's probably a Wake and Jake thing. But like if you did 3 best hitters versus 3 best pitchers, the Rays would do shockingly well. I mean, Caminero, Aranda, Diaz, and again, names-wise, McClanahan, Rasmussen, and then is it your guy, Jax? Is it Martinez? I don't know. The Rays would pair off pretty good in that fake exercise I said I'm going to do. Nick Martinez would be their third because he's got 53.2 innings and a 1.51.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this offense, third in OBP. And third in stolen bases. Get on and take the bag. They're also 8th in OPS, 8th in runs scored, not too shabby there, but they have different ways to beat you offensively, and then we know what they can do. First in ERA, second in whip, third in walks per 9. Like they're doing it, man. They're firing on all levels, and Kevin Cash, the difference.
Kevin Cash, I think it was just ballpark yucking the other night. It was like, who's the best manager in baseball? Now that the Rays are going again, someone threw Cash out there. And
he might manage for 100 years.
Right? It feels like he's...
Dalton, look up what Cash is making, because for a while it was like $1 million, way less than like league average, and he just was like, whatever, I'll just take it. He's got to be demanding more than that now.
Okay. Dalt's researching.
1.66 million.
Cash, ask for more, dude. What,
remains
Craig Counsell's making $8 million, bro.
2028.
No state income tax. Okay. That was some Rays. And they've got a back end of the bullpen. I also think they're hiding some pitchers. Like Joe Boyle. I don't know what they're doing with him. I haven't been fully locked in, but that dude has different arm talent that I think there's more of them coming. It feels sustainable. That was the thing I liked the most of what you said. Like when they get those speedy guys, when they get 2 guys on and nobody out, you're like, you literally do a cartoon gulp, because it's either they're meaty guys who are about to drive in runs, or it's more speed that the defense gets tight.
Yeah, and they're going to put pressure. They're going to bunt. They're going to do all those things that we like. I'm big on them. So they were 3 for me. They're 5 for you. Who was your 3-4?
Well, Dalt just gave me a fantastic segue. You mentioned the Rays against the NL, and it's like, what? How many games is that? And also, when you look at their win-loss, it's kind of shocking how many games they've lost to the National League. They're 5-10 against the NL Central. So I want to jump to this because I think the top 2 teams in the NL Central, and this rounds out my top 5. I went Cubs, Brewers, 3-4. The border rivalry.
You put the Cubs over the Brewers?
I did.
It's insane.
I half agree with you. If I got one tie on this whole list, it would have been these 2 teams.
Weren't they your number 2 team preseason, and you've moved them back for what reason?
They were the Braves. I think.
Oh no, I'm not talking about
yes
back. I'm saying the Cubs jumped them.
Here's what I believe in the Cubs full lineup. I do. I think being a complete team matters. And we'll peel back the curtains for the people. We talked about the Cubs a little bit pre-show. I think the fact that you look at that lineup and I see PCA and Dansby Swanson 8-9, like a baseball team this complete depth-wise, I don't recall seeing, and I believe in it. I believe when it comes October and every inning and every pitch matters, that when they get into the depths of the game, and sometimes you see your bottom of the lineup coming up in the 8th inning, and you're like, okay, if we could get one of these guys on base to flip the lineup, the Cubs don't have that. The Cubs, I realize offensively, well, it kind of has been their team strength. They're 5th in runs, they're 4th in OBS, 2nd in on base. And, dude, I love the defense. I think we're living in an era where defense is fully coming back, and I think they have an argument to be the best defensive team. I have questions about their pitching, although I think they should have enough